Hello there, my name is Calvin McCock. Today, it's time for another Toon Talk. And it's, again, not a cartoon. Although sometimes this man likes to talk about Sesame Street in his cartoon series. I don't know why, but he does. Why? So, this episode will be focused on a particular Sesame Street episode from the 1970s. One that was infamously banned from television for being too terrifying for the preschool crowd. An episode that was deemed too wicked.
Hello, my beautiful people. 2022 really has been the year of found media, hasn't it? I mean, just think about it. We've had several different pieces of lost media that's just suddenly been found. There was the American pilot for Sailor Moon, that one Christmas special that went viral on Twitter, and even just recently, this past week, the animatic for the Kingdom Hearts animated series was founded. But perhaps the biggest piece of found media to happen this year happened a few months ago, when one of the most infamous pieces of lost media was found. That being the Wicked Witch episode of Sesame Street. Yes, in July of 2022, the infamous episode of Sesame Street where Audrey Hamilton returned to reprise her role as the Wicked Witch of the West was finally found on Reddit. The episode was removed from rerunning on television after parents complained that the kids found the episode too scary. So Sesame Workshop refused to air the episode ever again and has since then locked it up in their vault. Now, it's a common misconception that the episode only aired once and never again. This is not true. The episode actually aired a couple times after its initial broadcast, but after those a couple times, it never rerun again, and it definitely never got any official home media or streaming releases. And for the longest time, this episode was viewed more as an urban legend than as actual Sesame Street history. But it wasn't until this image was revealed sometime in the 2000s when the internet learned that, holy shit, this episode is actually real. But ever since then, we've only had this image to go off of as proof that this episode actually existed. Until this year, when the entirety of the episode was uploaded to Reddit and later YouTube, Dailymotion, and all those other places. And I do mean the entire episode, not just the street segments that have the Wicked Witch in them, but the entire hour-long episode. Now, for the sakes of this video, I'm only going to be looking at the Wicked Witch segments, but if you do want to go ahead and check out the full, unedited episode in its entirety, then that is available on YouTube for you to check out for free at the time being, along with an additional video, which is just the Wicked Witch segment. So if you would like to see either of those, I'll link them in the description below. But for now, let's take a look at the infamous Sesame Street Show 847, the Wicked Witch episode. The episode begins with David, who was one of the main human cast members of the show at the time, walking outside of Hooper's store and noticing that it is a very windy day. He then sees something falling out of the sky, and it's actually a broom. He then uses it to sweep the area around Mr. Hooper's store. Just then, the Wicked Witch of the West peeps up around the corner, wanting her broom back and being mad on the fact that she's on Sesame Street and not in Oz, where she belongs.
I must be over the rainbow somewhere.
Like from the movie! The witch then approaches David, demanding that he gives her her broom back. But David doesn't do it since she's being, well, a wicked old witch to him. But the witch can't grab the broom herself, since if she touches it while someone else is touching it, she'll get electrocuted, so somebody needs to hand it to her. And David refuses since she's being a wicked bitch. The witch quotes Terminator and poofs away. David then looks directly at the kids watching at home, saying that he's not going to give her the broom back until she shows him some dignity and respect. The next street scene shows David showing the broom to Maria and whatever kids they managed to dig out of the dumpster that week. He tells them the story of the witch, and then the witch actually shows up in the store. The witch is demanding her broom, but David refuses unless she starts being nice. Maria tells David to ignore her and get them some water, so the witch gives them some water, but not in the way they wanted.
David!
Oh.
It's raining inside the store!
Can we go outside and get out of the rain?
They make it outside the store, and Maria's telling David that he should just give her the broom already, but David refuses unless she starts treating him like a person, and then Big Bird shows up. They tell Big Bird about the witch and that he should probably go back to his nest, but Big Bird refuses, saying that he's a brave bird and that he can handle a mean old witch. Big Bird tries to use the broom as a weapon to fight the witch, but then the witch shows up since Big Bird grabbed the broom. The witch demands that Big Bird gives her the broom back, even grabbing it herself, getting electrocuted. But then the witch threatens to turn Big Bird into a feather duster and then poofs away. The witch then heads in front of Oscar's trash can where she lists off all the things she tried to do in order to get her broom back. Oscar hears her saying all this and he ends up falling in love with her. The witch tells Oscar to piss off, which only makes him even more of a simp. She then figures out that the best way to get her broom back is to disguise herself as a pleasant little old woman. Now, the purposes of this scene is to show for the kids at home that the woman playing the Wicked Witch of the West, Audrey Hamilton, is nothing more than just a sweet old lady pretending to be a nasty old witch. In fact, with the exception of the final scene, the rest of the episode is dedicated to Audrey Hamilton essentially playing herself as the Wicked Witch. And the funny thing about it is that this is actually not the only children's television show at the time to do this. There was also an episode of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood where Audrey Hamilton played herself, reminiscing on the time she played the Wicked Witch of the West. And she pretty much did the same thing that she does in this part of the episode. Pretty much showing to the kids at home that the Wicked Witch was nothing more than a character and that she really is just a sweet old lady. Basically, they were trying to not scare the kids too much because, remember, Sesame Street is made for 3-year-olds. But clearly that didn't work because the episode still got banned anyway. Anyway, back to the episode. Big Bird is then seen guarding Mr. Hooper's store, defending it from the witch, but he unknowingly lets the witch go by because she's disguised as the normal old lady. She sits down and David and Maria tell her about the witch. She thinks that, oh, that is just horrible. Who would want such an ugly old broom? Is it alright if I touch it, though? David quickly figures out that that is actually the witch in disguise. David then gets an idea on how to make the witch ask politely for the broom and to start acting a little bit nicer, and it actually ends up working.
Would you, could I, do you mind?
Have you ever had a dream that you want him to do you so much?
That's what she said.
You could do anything?
Did I seriously just put a riff inside of another riff? Holy shit, it's riffception. So because the witch asked nicely, David gives her the broom back. And so the witch can now head back to Oz, or should I say, return to Oz, and say good riddance to Sesame Street, only to immediately drop her broom again, landing in front of David, and David then cries. So that was show number 847. Now compared to what the Wicked Witch of the West does in the movie The Wizard of Oz, the shit she does in this episode is child's play. In the movie, her main goal is that she is literally trying to kill this little girl, but in this episode, she just wants her broom back. And remember, some of the threats that she makes in the movie is threatening to burn the Scarecrow alive, and again, killing a little girl. Meanwhile, in the Sesame Street episode, she threatens to turn David into a basketball and Big Bird into a feather duster. She doesn't know it, but she threatens to. I mean, it completely makes sense. Sesame Street is made for a much, much, much younger audience than The Wizard of Oz was intended for. Where The Wizard of Oz was made and intended to be viewed and loved by the entire family, Sesame Street's sole target audience is preschoolers. So it makes sense that the Wicked Witch wouldn't be as threatening or terrifying as she was in the movie. But for a preschooler to go ahead and watch this episode, I can kind of see why they would be terrified. I mean, it is still the Wicked Witch after all. She still has that horrifying cackle, that voice. She's still the Wicked Witch. And like, imagine you're just a child, excited in the weekday morning, ready to go ahead and watch a new episode of Sesame Street, see some fun little animations about learning how to count and spell, seeing whatever the different street residents or Muppets are up to this time, and you go ahead and see this creepy little witch just walking around Sesame Street, threatening to turn Big Bird into a feather duster. Like, I can imagine for a 4-year-old to go ahead and watch this episode, that'd be fucking terrifying. And also, this episode has a really nice message that a lot of kids, and even some adults, really need to know. That if you treat people like shit, they will not give you what you want. Where the Wicked Witch is trying to get her broom back, but she's constantly being mean and calling David mean names and threatening him on multiple occurrences. And David refuses to give her the broom back because she's being mean to him. Basically teaching the kids that you'll get what you want if you be really nice about it. So yes, I can see why a lot of preschoolers would be terrified of this episode, but I don't think it was worth banning from television for over 45 years. That was a little bit ridiculous. But still, at the end of the day, it's kind of crazy that one of the most infamous pieces of lost media has been founded. It's absolutely insane to me that this episode just showed up on Reddit, seemingly out of nowhere. Now, if only we can find the divorce episode, that would be fucking nuts. But anyway, guys, that'll be it for this video. What do you guys think of it? And what do you guys think of the Sesame Street Wicked Witch episode, or show number 847? Please let me know in the comments. And also, thank you guys so much for watching some of the Halloween videos so far. We definitely have one more video planned. I want to do 2 more, but that's just how life works, I guess. And also be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and ring the bell to be notified of when future videos are uploaded. And if we get to 300 subscribers by the end of the year, then I will make one giant video reviewing every single SpongeBob video game. But if you want to see that, then please hit the subscribe button. But anyway, guys, I'll see you later. Bye! What if I wore this in the fall just to spite some people? Yeah, that'd be funny. Oh! Let me guess, you guys aren't gonna leave unless I say it, huh? Well then. Toon Talk has been brought to you today by the letter W and the numbers 3 and 9. Toon Talk is a production of Mr. Johnson.
Ah, yes. It's nice to finally have some alone time in this damn house.
Oh my god.
Well, never mind.
What do you want, Film Buff, and why are you not in your Halloween outfit? Big Bird, you recognize me as Film Buff?
Yeah, why wouldn't I?
What dimension is this? I don't know. It's this Animalogic Prime. The Prime Animalogic Universe. I guess. Oh my god, we actually made it. This is my dog from my universe. This is my big bird from my universe. What the fuck? I can't believe it. Finally made it back. After like 6-7 months of traveling in different dimensions and not knowing where the fuck I was going. Finally made it back.
What the hell are you talking about?
Okay, let me explain.